Hi everyone. Welcome to the Skill House channel. Skill House is a virtual learning space that brings together engineering students and top industry experts. We help students help industry-level technical skills alongside their graduation course to create better developers for the future. Today, we have with us Mr. Shahzad Maved. Shazad Maved is the CTO of a company called MindStack. Now, Mindstag is a software company which is created by young entrepreneurs out of their love for coding. Hi, Shazad.
Hi.
Hi. Shazad,
Yeah.
tell us something about yourself.
So I've actually started this company along with my classmate Arun in 2015 February.
Yes.
So we were, like as you said, enthusiastic about coding.
Yes.
So prior starting, I've worked in a startup called Graphity Collaborative.
Right.
It was for 2 years there, and then I worked also for Infosys.
Right.
So being exposed to MNC as well as a startup,
Right.
got a varied experience.
Correct.
So I had an urge to put out my skills
Yes.
into something that I love.
Right.
So we've been actually having the same love for coding, me and my partner.
Yes.
And then we got incubated in NITK STEP.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Yes.
So there we were just like 3, and now we have grown up to like around 40 people.
Oh, that's really great.
So we started up as a normal, a staff. Like we were part of another team.
Great.
So then slowly we grew up as a agency,
Right.
where we just provide coding services.
Great.
Then eventually we moved out to be a end-to-end product development company, a
Correct.
bespoke. Like
Correct.
we tailor as per the client's requirement.
Right.
So we have teams across the whole SDSC cycle.
Right.
It starts with requirement gathering, and we have business analysis, then planning and designing. So we have a very talented team of designers.
Excellent.
And then we have coding.
Right.
So that's our forte.
That's your forte.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Then we have quality. So yeah, we are also verging into automation quality as well. And obviously deployment. So we have like CI/CD deployments going on. Like we have DevOps team as well. So this whole SDSC cycle has put out we have been putting it out as a strong statement out
Right.
there to show our caliber.
Right.
Yeah. So lately we've been focused into fintech, and alongside we have a product called ReactBots. It's into conversational AI. So it's a omni-channel system where people can, businesses can put out, configure it with our platform, ReactBots, and they can have different channels of their social media. So from there they can, get in inquiries from their clients, and
Correct.
with a single point they can respond to all of
these
platforms.
platforms together.
Yeah. So this is how about me and my
And
company.
it started with 2 people.
Yeah.
Very good. Shazad, you said, and I said that you were a CTO with the company. What is the role of a CTO in a company?
Yeah. So me being a tech founder, I'm involved in leading the technical executions. So whenever a project comes in, we have certain hierarchies set.
Right.
So down the line, so we assign. We make sure that the hierarchy is set right, and then as and when the project comes in, we consider the tech stacks.
Correct.
Certain decisions our project manager can take, and he can give it to us for approval, or if there is certain new project that comes in which the team hasn't handled before,
Right.
we have brainstorming sessions, and then we come to a decision
Right.
of basically technical decisions.
Correct. So you're steering the entire
technical
team,
execution.
execution team.
Yeah.
Okay. Shazad, Could you tell us what are the technologies that you work on?
So lately we have working on microservices architecture. So it's for the enterprise. Humongous applications require microservices architecture, and for that we use Java Spring Boot.
Okay.
And then Java Spring Boot is a framework. It's a MVC, and it has another design patterns involved. And then in the front end, we use ReactJS.
Yes.
And for mobile app development, we have Flutter.
Yes.
Yeah, and Flutter is a very strong framework actually, and it has been. It's the newest one as well.
I know. I've heard a lot of Flutter now.
Yeah.
Yes. There's a lot of Flutter about Flutter. Yes.
Yeah. And then ReactJS, this thing. And for DevOps, we use AWS.
AWS. How do you manage your resources? And when I mean by resources, the human resources.
Yeah. So we do have recruitment. So we have mostly walk-in recruitment drives.
Right.
So we have for freshers as well as for laterals.
Right.
What we see in freshers is we see the passion if they have for the course that they have taken.
Correct.
Okay. And then also for we have 2 rounds. Okay, mainly first round will be for reasoning, and
this is we're talking about freshers.
For freshers,
right?
And also for laterals we do have the similar process, but the difficulty level will be something higher. Yeah. Then the second round would be technical. It would be like pure coding that we would give, and last round would be HR. So it's the same for both, but the difficulty level would be a little bit more in the lateral.
Right. Okay.
And when it comes to freshers, like we have instances where we have found very, very, very talented freshers because just because of their passion for what they have worked on.
But passion as such is not quantifiable, right?
Yeah. So we can actually see, we can look at their profile. When we ask them basic questions, we expect them to answer those.
Right.
So they'll be very strong, and I've seen them come in and perform really well. And those are the gold mines for us, actually. So we have a couple of few who have come in and they have been driving certain projects as well in a very short period of time.
In a very short period of time. Yeah. These are fresh off the boat, as they say.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. But Shazad, you're an industry right now in the industry, and you have coming from an engineering background. So you're the perfect person to answer this question for me. What do you see are the gaps between industry and education and colleges?
Sadly, there's a gap mainly in the opportunities that the students get to explore during the academics, because they have a lot to cover, the syllabus.
Very true.
And the practical, the practical experience is a bit lacking for them. So when they come to the industry, the training that we'll have to invest on, and then wait until they're ready. So it becomes a little challenging for small scale startups.
Correct. Unlike somebody big as TCS or Infosys.
Yeah. So even in Infosys, if you see, they have like a prolonged course. Like there is a fast track course, and also a long course of 6 months. So they retrain, and they take in people from all the streams.
Very
so
true.
That doesn't resonate, right? Like you do engineering in computer science, then you see next to you there's a mechanical student who is actually doing the same thing. So that's where we feel that obviously there is one practical knowledge or experience that is missing. So that is one thing that we'll have to bridge the gap. There are certain programs, like mainly with the MTech and MCA. So we get a longer period for their internships. So MCA, I believe they have 6 months, and MTechs, we have got people who were with us for 1 year. So they've done their internship for those period of time. So we get a lot of time, to help them out with the practical industry. And then we tend to offer them as well. Yeah. So, but with the with the engineering,
Right.
there is this something that is lacking.
Lacking. Okay.
We get students for internship, yes, but just for 1 month.
For
so
1 month.
there it won't be beneficial for both the sides.
Correct.
That's-
Training them is
Is very hard
quite
because it's very small
Very
time.
small duration.
They'll be just introduced to a topic and then they're
Very true.
Then-
1 month is done.
yeah.
Very good. Shazad, we did talk a little bit about Angular and JS. What are the technologies that you think are trending now?
See, in the technologies that we are utilizing are among the latest trending technologies because of its like the power that it possesses in the cloud and all those things. And as I said, in the enterprise level,
Right.
we have Java Spring Boot.
Spring Boot.
Yeah. And mainly, but the demand that we have right now is the ReactJS.
ReactJS.
Yeah. And during the peak Corona time,
Right.
there was like a huge demand for resources. People were jumping and all those.
Right.
And we felt really difficult to, catch hold of ReactJS developers.
Oh.
So yeah,
right.
and yeah, the sad part of it was people, had got such offers.
Right.
The market was so bad.
Right.
We used to hardly get some resumes from
Right.
ReactJS,
Right.
and then we couldn't afford them because within 1 hour I
Yes.
would have seen one person increase his package because he's been getting offers one by one.
Right.
So he's been saying that he needs, within a period of an hour, he told he needs another 5 lakhs added to his package. This is a true story. So this is and React.js is one of the trending techs because
I know the people who are listening to this are just counting their cash. I think it's like, if I learn React.js, maybe I could. I think it is still still there.
But again, it's there. But again, now you have seen there have been so many layoffs. So
Right,
it's the market always
cycles.
happens. But now there's a demand though in React.js, and then Flutter is picking up. Yeah, it is. If you see, we are into fintech lately. We have been getting into that vertical.
Right.
So Zerodha, one of the leaders in this stream, in this segment. So they have shifted their mobile app. So React Native has been used for a hybrid mobile app technology. So they have shifted from React Native to Flutter because of its advantages that it has over this. So Flutter is one of the newest and good tech that we've been using.
Right.
Then apart from that, yes, there's a buzz of Web 3.0 and everyone's talking about it. So, and it's and we've been seeing the NFT marketplace. So that is also coming up. Even Facebook is launching it, and they've been appealing to creators to come and create things on their platform. So Web 3.0 it's yet to be tested. There's a lot of buzz. So once that whole hype goes down, whatever is left is the actual thing that will stay.
Right.
So that's the buzz of Web 3.0, blockchain and crypto.
Right, crypto and so much. You told us about your evaluation process. In the evaluation process, you talked about coding, right? Now, suppose, let's take for an example, a hypothetical situation where a student comes in with one of your technologies, which is React.js, and they're trained in React.js and they've done projects in React.js. Would that help you in the recruitment process and evaluation process than for that person simply having a coding skill, which say he's learned from engineering?
Yeah, as you said, the passion is not quantifiable, right?
Right.
Yeah. So all this, the profiles and the portfolios that they bring along shows us the passion for it. So that actually helps us out, gives us an understanding about the person.
Right. So what they write below, other than their marks and languages known, and they would put that at the...
obviously it will be a very valuable thing. It will surely help us to shortlist them.
Correct. So the skills are what you're looking for. Skills and passion. Skills and passion. What are these opportunities? Now people talk the IT is big. There are a lot of opportunities. What are these opportunities in IT?
Yeah. So IT, I would say, is ever changing.
Right.
And there's a lot of... and fast changing, ever changing as well as fast changing, and you need to catch hold on to the tech as a company as well as a developer. If I would also keep looking out at what is new and what is the thing. And there are so many ed techs which is actually offering upskilling and everything. And so it is a like usual thing. Even when we hire, we just look at the skills. We see what they have done, what their projects that they have worked on, or if they are freshers, if they have some exposure into the real time.
So if you have somebody with say 90% and not really done much, so only academics, and you have somebody with more or less the same academics, but he's done, so it's immediately the other one stands up.
Because this is how it works, right? Like we need skills. We need them to come in. We need them to communicate. We need them to work.
And in an ideal scenario, start working and collaborating from day one.
Exactly. Ideal scenario. And that's all. So skill is very important. Upskilling in this IT industry.
Like you said, learning to learn. Learning to learn. Shazad, since we are on the Skill Hub channel, you do know that we go to colleges and then and we train students all the way from their third year on these new technologies, just like the one that you were speaking of, and train them and get them to learn them and use them in their projects. What do you think? How's that as
So that's actually a good opportunity for the students. So like if something like that would be during our time, we would have actually utilized it to the fullest extent.
Exactly. I know.
We had to rely on ourselves and
train them. So if they come trained on these technologies, so it would make your job as a recruiter and as a company much easier.
Exactly. And it's a very good opportunity. Like if someone is there to mentor you and everything, just
very true. That is what Skill House does. Is that we mentor the students, and mentoring gets done from industry experts, because these people have already worked. People like you and who are mentoring. Imagine people like you are mentoring people, mentoring students. Saying, this is what you need, and this is what need to be be good at. I think it's so much.
Half of the job would be done like before they join the other.
Very true.
And of course, with any hands-on experience, they'll be really valued, the freshers, because it will give them an upper hand than the other candidates.
Correct. Just like you had quite a few of, you had hands-on experience. And that's what you would expect from your students.
And it gives them a natural confidence that, yes, I've done this before, and it will give them upper hand to even answer the questions more confidently, naturally.
Correct. Because they've done it. Right. Shazad, wonderful hearing, Jerry, the passion of what you have for your work, it shines through. Now, there are a lot of people who are watching, the freshers, and what would be the tips for these undergrads, MCA, postgrads? What's your tip for them?
So I would just let them know is love what you are learning at this point in time.
Right.
So see, if you wouldn't love coding, then there are so many other aspects. Like there is like business analysis, and your communications needs to be good when you do business analysis, or designing. So designing the whole system, UI, UX.
Correct.
So there's software testing. So, and there's so much of resources that you have in our internet. So that's a blessing for us. Without that, even we wouldn't have, a lot of startups also wouldn't have started. So that's, you should act, as I've told you as earlier, you have to learn how to learn using the resources that is available to you. I've heard people prior, they used to go to libraries and read from books. Now you just have it in your fingertips.
I think you're talking about my generation. Right.
And you need to, if you need mentorship and everything, you have certain facilities also, programs available. You can join them and be a part of the community and learn how you can do it. And that's how, like, we will have to find your passion. If it's not coding, there are so many things that you can do in this IT industry.
Within the IT industry itself.
So it's all throughout this SDLC. Just explore where you're good at. If you're good at art, you can choose digital designing. And if you are like testing also quality control, and if you have
a meticulous eye.
Yeah,
Yes,
exactly.
yes,
So you can choose that. And if you're good at communication, you can be at the business analysis, requirement gathering, understanding what others are.
Correct.
So it's a humongous opportunity
for everyone.
Yeah.
Like, so at the end, love what you learn.
Yeah.
Love what you learn. Right. Shazad, now let's come to something a little more personal. What's your journey? Then when I mean journey is after completing your education. Graduation.
So I came out from graduation like with certain predefined skill sets. And that got me a job like in a startup. So within a month.
This was right out of college.
Right out of college, I like for certain like actually I was placed in Infosys. So but there was some gap because that time there was some recession going on.
Correct.
So the dates were postponed for a long time. So for that, to cover up that space, I went to Bangalore. And I've got a job because I had the exact skill set that they were looking for. So back then it was like Zen framework is what, and Code Igniter and PHP, because the projects that I had done prior was exactly in match, and I had the skill in that. And they tested me totally technically into it. And then right as a fresher, they just took me and threw me into a very big project because even that was a startup.
Yes.
And I had to go to the client's place and then, talk with the stakeholders there. Like those were very senior people. And I was just a kid, like I would say that. And then I had to drive that integration. It was an integration of, the front end with their existing HRM system, HR system. And it was and JSPs, I had studied my academics. So it was like I had to integrate the front end that we developed into that and write a lot of jQuery, JavaScripts, and understand their API calls and integrate it. So that and then I've single-handedly worked on many projects in the startup. So the startup actually gave me a lot of, confidence. And it really felt like I can do things. It gave me that whole thing. And then I joined Infosys. So there I kind of understood a lot of processes and how difficult it is to manage a lot of people in the company, and how enterprises. I was working in an enterprise client project. So then my friend, actually classmate, we've been actually coming out, and after our work hours, we were working on some personal projects as well. And also I was working for something called Social Blood. So that was also a Facebook free internet org. It was been listed there. So I was a single backend developer into it. So and we did all that, and then we started getting more interest in building things on our own. So then we kind of quit our jobs, and then we started. So we were just 2 people, and then eventually, like I must have told, 40 we grew. That was the journey that we had. And a lot of we being into tech, we learn and not in business. Business backgrounds. We had to learn a lot of things the hard way alongside. But and we are still learning. And then it's been a roller coaster ride, and it's been like a lot of priceless moments in this journey that we had.
Super. Thank you, Shazad. It's been such a wonderful pleasure to have you here, and so many new things I got to learn. I think the viewers would also agree with this. And thank you for being on the Skill House.
It was a pleasure for me as well.
Thank you. Thank you so much.